Hey funnel builders and elevators. Mike Killen here from sellyourservice.co.uk. Today I want to talk about why I left WP Elevation. So, quick bit of backstory. I joined WP Elevation as a student in 2014. And it came at a point where I really wanted to build a WordPress business. I wanted to be a WordPress consultant. I had been trying to do this for kind of like 2 years and I sucked at it really bad. I wasn't making any money. I was still living at home with my mom. I had to move home after a redundancy, and this opportunity came up, and it was like, for $97 a month, you can join our course and you can get access to how to run a profitable, essentially I think it was how to run a WordPress consultancy, a profitable WordPress consultancy. I think what got me in initially was the webinar that Troy ran, and it was basically how to write a proposal crazy fast. And what was interesting is, as I went through that process, I was kind of learning more and more and more. I was like, holy shit, this guy is giving away everything. And I consumed all of his blog content. I consumed all of the podcasts. I went absolutely nuts. I even emailed him and said, man, if you've ever got 15 minutes and I know you're in Australia, I will wake up crazy early just to ask you a couple of questions. And he did it. He got back to me. He said, hey man, I'd love to have a conversation. And it was like meeting, this hero. Like Troy Dean was just such a big part of the internet. I saw him everywhere. And when I joined, WP Elevation was not as slick as it is now. It was a pretty basic website. The membership website was pretty basic. There was a course, the blueprint. There was a lot less content in there. There was a forum that was active, but not crazy active. And there were only like 100 members at the time. And that's where I knew Christina Romero, Cath, and Jurgen as well was in there. I think Simon might have joined a little bit after, but there are some really people who have been a part of the WP Elevation journey, have been in there for a long time. In 2015, maybe it was 2014, maybe I joined in 2013, and in 2014 I went out to Thailand. I borrowed a ton of money from Liv, my girlfriend, which I don't recommend, but I was like, I know this is going to help my business. I know that this is going to be good for my business. I know this is going to help me. And I maxed out my credit card. I borrowed some money. Liv basically paid for most of it. And we went out there to Thailand for this mastermind workshop, and there was only like 5 or 6 of us and Troy. And the first time I met him, I was like, holy shit. And Liv thought it was really cute that I had the kind of bromance crush on this Aussie guy who was like, hey, I'm going to teach you how to run a business. And the first time I was like, fuck, you're Troy Dean. And I kind of met all these other people who I'd only ever talked to on forums, and we were there in this beautiful island. We went to Koh Samui in September. I remember because it was Liv's birthday while we were there. And we spent 3 days going through our business, and I basically revolutionized what I was selling for like $1,000 US or £1,000 into like a £10,000 service and product, but I didn't change anything. It was entirely to do with my mindset. And it was at that kind of mastermind session where I said to Troy, oh, do you know about the Ryan Deiss or digital marketer CVO model? And he was like, yes, I love the CVO model. And we had a conversation. We talked to each other. And I said, well, that's actually what I want to do. And he said, man, that's what you should sell then. You should just sell funnels. You should just position your websites as funnels. And sure enough, that's what I ended up becoming, is the WordPress funnel guy. That's what Devon Digital Design became. And when we got back, the business kind of skyrocketed. And it was in 2015-ish, late 2015, that Troy said, hey man, if you know anyone who's really good at funnels, we'd love to have a conversation with them. And I was like, well, he can't mean me, surely, because I'm one of his students. Like, he taught me everything. And I said, oh, I'll let you know if I find anyone. And a couple of days later, he messaged me on Slack and was like, obviously you didn't get what I was talking about. I kind of meant you. I was wondering if you wanted to have a conversation about building funnels with us. And I was like, this is insane. Yes, I want to have this conversation. So we talked a bit on Slack. And he said, well, why don't you come out to Australia and we'll go through this process. You can take us through this process. And I had this funnel building process that I'd done with a couple of telco companies. I had done with a course-based business. I'd done with an insurance business. And it was pretty intense. And I said, usually I'm with whoever's doing it. It's not kind of something that we can really do over Skype or anything. He said, well, come out then. So he flew me out, flew Liv and I out. We went to Melbourne. We basically spent 3 or 4 days with him, and the team kind of building out this process, where I met Brian, Troy's business partner, and Jin, and we kind of all sat together. And it was around then that I was like, this is really what I want to do. This is who I want to build funnels for. And we just ended up exclusively working with course-based businesses after that. Then Troy said, look, man, we've got a coaching team. And it was around the same time we were having that conversation. He said, I'd love it if you came on board with us as a coach. It's got me, Christina Romero, and Cath, of course, Cath Hughes, who was out in Thailand as well. I met Cath kind of face to face. And the three of us were going to coach. And he said, look, we're changing the model, changing the website. We're going to blow this out. We want you guys to create courses. We're going to interview you. And all of this kind of came together in this maelstrom of success. And I was like, shit, this is it. I've done this. Like, I've succeeded, right? This is everything. And so for 2 years, I presented a ton of coaching calls and a ton of webinars to the WP elevators, who are the most eager and hungry and willing to learn, an amazing group of people that I've ever had the pleasure of being a part of. And to even be considered a coach and to be looked up to and to pay to travel the world and teach these people, it's I can assure you that at the age of whatever you are, 15 or whatever, and you have, part of your life where you're really kind of low down, and then to just try and help people and they accept that help is, I truly, I don't have the words to express just how incredible that feels. 2017, was it? Last year? Yeah, rolls around and Troy says, hey, we're doing this thing in Miami. So I fly out to Miami. We went all over the United States. We went to Phoenix, Arizona, went to Flagstaff to see the Grand Canyon. We then went over to Nashville, and then we went to a couple of other places in Tennessee like Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg, went to Dollywood, and then we drove all the way down. Liv and I took a road trip down to Miami to give a talk to I think it was kind of WP Elevation Rockstar Empires Mastermind, and I was one of the guys there and talking again, meeting all these people, these amazing business owners. And if anyone's a part of the community, you'll know just how encouraging and different and smart everybody is. And I was like, these guys are going to see right through me. They're going to go, fuck, Mike actually doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just some guy. What happened on that trip is that I actually sold my first web design business, Devon Digital Design, to a larger media company, MeBox, which is now changing again. But I came on board as the CMO of that. And it was around that time that we had finally got a house and things really started picking up. And that's kind of what leads me to this point today. I'm leaving WP Elevation as a coach because I physically don't have enough hours in the day to continue providing the value that WP Elevation deserves. I love helping funnel businesses, and I want to help funnel businesses achieve their maximum earning potential. WP Elevation was an incredible platform and launch pad for me to start working out some of my ideas, and I'm eternally grateful to Troy and Brian and Jin and Ray and the rest of the team, Jay and Mitch, who have been there kind of with us, who are on the other side. I know their team is a bigger part of that, and Cath and Christina as well, and all the other mentors as well who have come on board, and everyone who supported me on my platforms and the kind of little courses I built with WP Elevation that people got access to. But we launched Sell Your Service, and the reality is it's going so well now that I can either dedicate 50% of my time to funnel builders and 50% of my time to WP Elevation, or I can commit 100% of my time to funnel builders. And I feel morally that I have to commit to my own business. I'm not going anywhere in WP Elevation. I'm still going to be in the group. It's probably the group I spend the second amount most of the time in, other than the Sell Your Service private mastermind, which of course there is a link to below. But that group of people, and what Troy is doing is constantly just elevating, just raising the bar every single time. Christina and I have got some cool stuff happening. We talk pretty often about all the cool stuff that we've got going on, and we've got a few webinars, and there's elevators in the group who have become more than customers. Some of them are even like fanatical customers about me, but some of them have become genuinely close friends who I want to catch up with all the time. I just want to hang out with them. But I genuinely feel it's a moral disservice to stick with something just because I enjoy doing it when I know I can't commit 100% to it. And that's pretty much it. I have to commit 100% to my own business, and I would rather choose a market that has some overlap maybe, and commit 100% to funnel builders and helping funnel builders achieve this incredible life-changing businesses and just get the opportunities that I've managed to have, rather than continue to just be a part of WP Elevation for the sake of it. And so we had this conversation. I said, Troy, man, I think it's time for me to leave. And I wasn't really sure, if I'm being honest, Troy, how you were going to take it. I wasn't sure how Troy was going to take it. And he was so encouraging, and it's kind of like saying, hey, I feel I've got to go off and do my own thing now. I feel I've got to commit 100%. And Troy was like, I'm the first person to tell you you should go and do that. And it just reminded me of why I'm a part of this community and why I'm a part of that group of people, because everyone in that group would say, you should go off and do your own thing. And that's to anyone. If anyone else is inside WP and they say, I want to go off and do this thing by myself, Troy will be the first person to tell you should do it. I sure as hell would tell you to do it. Everyone in the WP Elevation group would tell you to do it. Without a doubt, WP Elevation is one of the reasons, it's probably the biggest reason I am where I am today. It introduced me to a way of helping people and a way of running a business that I didn't even know was possible. I didn't even think it was an option. It was like discovering a new color, you know? It wasn't even anything that had occurred to me to look for when I started a business. And now it's such an integral part of not just my business, but my day-to-day life, that I will be eternally grateful for the opportunities that it's presented me. But it is ultimately time for me to focus down on Sell Your Service, double down on that niche of helping funnel builders sell more marketing funnels and generate more income and achieve their maximum earning potential. None of my content's going anywhere. All the courses are going to stay on there. None of my podcasts, none of that shit. It's all staying on there. As far as I'm concerned, it's WPEs anyway. But yeah, that's why. So there's no animosity. It's not a negative thing. It was just the right time for me to leave. And coincidentally, Cath and Christina are moving on to their separate directions as well. I'm eternally grateful to everyone who's been a part of that journey with me. You know, it's been amazing. What I like is that any elevator who has met Liv then likes Liv more than me. And whenever I'm on coaching calls, people are like, hey, how's Liv? I'm like, what the f... So everyone loves her. That's why I'm leaving. So this is my last week. So it is Monday today. And it'll be my last week today. I will be doing a live call to the group, to the private members. I'll probably do a video around then to let you know how it went. But yeah, in the meantime, guys, thank you so much for watching. I am Mike from sellyourservice.co.uk. Keep building those funnels, and of course, go elevate.